Welcome to Mindset Mastery Moments, the podcast dedicated to helping you unlock your full potential through the power of mindset. Join Dr. Alisa Whyte, a transformative creator and multi-award-winning trailblazer, as she guides you on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. With a background in corporate leadership and workforce development, Dr. Alisa has dedicated her career to inspiring individuals to achieve their goals and dreams. Known as the #1 mindset disruptor, she firmly believes that the key to success lies within the mind. Dr. Whyte has witnessed the incredible impact a shift in mindset can have on one's life, career, and relationships. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just beginning your journey of self-discovery, you'll find valuable lessons, inspiring stories, and practical tools to elevate your life. In each episode, Dr. Alisa engages with thought leaders, coaches, and changemakers from around the globe, exploring their journeys and the mindsets that have propelled them to success. Get ready to reframe your perspective, embrace challenges, and cultivate the mindset necessary to achieve your dreams. Now let's dive into today's episode and discover how to master your mindset for a brighter, more fulfilling future.
Hello, disruptors, and welcome back to Mindset Mastery Moments with yours truly, Dr. Alisa Whyte. Today, we are diving into the power of mindset, with a very special guest who embodies the spirit of transformation and growth. Joining us today is a guest who has been a dynamic leader and mindset expert whose journey spans from professional basketball courts in Europe to the world of business and mentorship. We're talking about an individual who has authored a best-selling book that is called Mindset is My Degree, and also the co-host of a podcast called Two for the Win. Through his company, he has been helping individuals realize their dream vacations, and you all know how I love traveling, and a jet-setting lifestyle. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my guest for today, and I'm excited to have this conversation with him, Mr. Nick Mornard. Nick, come on to Mindset Mastery Moments. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. What an introduction.
I'm not even done. Let me tell our audience just a little bit more about you. Nick's experience extends beyond just business. He's a former professional basketball player who has shifted his focus to guiding others in achieving success. And he's passionate about influencing mindsets and finding fulfillment. With expertise in leadership, travel, influence, and a critical role of a mentor, he brings a unique perspective on how to build a mindset that is not only supportive of you driving your success, but he's also going to support you in just winning overall in your life. Nick, we are so thrilled to have you to show us the insights of building resilience, leadership, and strategies, and how travel shapes personal and professional growth. Nick, I am so happy to hear your version and your take on mindset mastery, and I can't wait to talk about your book, Mindset is My Degree. I don't even have that degree, so I want to have some of that too. Tell us about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you do, Nick.
Absolutely. So my name is Nick. I'm originally from Belgium in Europe. Nobody's perfect. I moved to the US and Florida in 2013. My journey is a little bit, special. I always dreamed about coming to the US, live the American dream. And I was able to do that, like I said, in 2013, moving here without knowing anyone, without knowing the language. So I had to really learn everything from the scratch. So it was a very exciting journey, but extremely challenging the first 3-4 years where I was here. So, but very excited to share more with you and the audience, of course.
So exciting to talk to you about that journey. So you were playing professional football. Tell us a little bit about that.
So it was basketball.
Basketball. I'm saying football. See,
it's all good. It's all good. But unfortunately, there was no football in Europe at the time. I mean, still now it's hard to find. But I would have been probably a tight end if I would play football. No, I was playing basketball at the age of 16 years old. In Europe, you can sign professional contracts. So I literally signed my first contract the day after my 16th birthday.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you're not very smart, and you think, okay, now my life is done. I will be playing basketball, make a lot of money, having fun, and that's it. Well, after 4 years, I got a very bad injury playing basketball, and it literally ended my career before turning 20 years old.
Wow.
And what to do? I don't have a degree. I just have my high school degree. I don't have anything else. So the journey was interesting, but I don't regret any steps. Again, everything I know, I learned on the field, like we said.
Nice.
So with language.
Life. Yeah.
And so yeah, so that was very interesting, but that's what I think shaped my mindset from the start, because if I didn't have that, I would probably not be where I'm today.
I agree. So interesting. So your book, it's a bestseller, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That is so awesome. I know how much it takes to achieve that. So I have high regard for that accomplishment. Mindset is my degree. Could you share with us what inspired you to name your book that, so we can help readers? And what did you think you wanted readers to take away from that?
Absolutely. So that's a fun story. If you would have told me 2 years ago that I was going to write a book and publish a book, and let alone become a bestseller author, I would have laughed. That's like, there's no way. First of all, it's my third language. Secondly, I'm not someone who writes a lot normally, but the reason why I went through this journey is because I start mentoring more and more people in Florida, and small business owner, entrepreneur, and things of that nature. Yeah. And I realized that the story I tell, in order to impact or try to impact some people and make seem like another side of what's possible, really made a huge difference to a lot of people I talk to. So I thought to myself, if I put that on paper or writing a book or something like that, I probably will be able to touch more people.
Right.
And so I learned about the journey, the process of doing so. And my goal is I always said that I will try to do the 1% push with needed for anyone in order to go from where they are today to where they want to go. You're going to make the work, but maybe you just need that little push that will make the big difference in your life. And if I can do that for a person by writing the book, it's a success.
It's a success. Absolutely. That 1% push. My goodness. Let's go back a little bit to your mindset and what you learned when you made that transition from professional sports to entrepreneurship. And then, like you said, you were here in the USA. English is your third language, I think, and all that changed. And I'm an immigrant to the USA as well. I've been living in the US for 20 years, born and raised in Guyana, South America. I was already 24 before I came here. English was my first language, thankfully, so I had one less thing. But I had a very thick accent. I still do, but my accent was so thick. My question for you is, what did you learn about your mindset? And how did mindset overall help you go through those transitions as a professional person and now going to entrepreneurship? Professional athlete and going to entrepreneurship.
Great question. I think that the mindset, I always had it. And I don't know from where it came from, because my parents were amazing people, but they were very traditional employees. You get a paycheck, you go home, the routine, like weekends, it's fun, Mondays awful. So that was pretty much how I grew up. But I never wanted that. When I saw some people around me, parents from other friends who were business owners, and I saw the grind and I saw what they were able to accomplish, and I never wanted to do a 9 to 5. And so I had always that mindset that everything is possible from young age, playing basketball professionally. Like I said, at 18 years old, I was captain of the team with all adults, I was probably one of the youngest of the team, and still was voted as a captain for the team. So I love to try to bring the best in people. I always did. And when I got that big injury, I I sat down and I'm like, what am I doing now? And I think that proving people wrong was a huge push for me because people call
Ah,
me, all like traditional like
yes.
employees. And I'm like, no, I will prove them wrong. I will make something out of nothing. And it's hard. It's hard. And you get a lot of challenges along the road. But my focus was always at the end point. And I always had a dream board since I'm 12 years old. And I'm like, I will achieve every single point on my dream board. And I didn't scratch them all, but I scratched them, most of them. and
Yes.
yeah, so it helped by moving here because so many times I thought, oh my God, a lot of people said, come back home, come back to Belgium, because the first 3 years were hard. Like it was
Yes.
hell. I mean, for a few 2 years, I mean, it was really, really hard. Like I didn't know how to pay basic rent because I didn't have
Right.
a job, I didn't
Have
have nothing, and I
nothing.
needed to figure
Yeah.
it out.
Wow, perfect mindset. I see behind you, you have one of my favorite. I think the mindset of all mindsets is the growth mindset.
Oh yeah.
So absolutely one, and that would be the one that you would have to use when you come here is so much adapting and growing confidence to step into spaces and roles that you haven't been. So let's talk a little bit about another one of your favorite area as you do a lot of mentorship is leadership in this modern world. As an entrepreneur and mentor, what are some of the leadership strategies you believe are so crucial and critical for success in today's, very fast-paced world?
Yes, great question as well. Well, I do believe that people tend to be willing to act on everything coming on their plates fast, and they don't take a step back. And I believe in when you get so many challenges and so many things of your plate when you're an entrepreneur, like you have so many things that you could be doing. Sometimes it's good to take a step back, look at everything in front of you, and just figure it out. Prioritization. So what are you going to prioritize first? And as a leader, my role when I mentor people, it's really to make sure that they understand the different steps needed in order to get where they want to be. Because you cannot go for a straight line. It's going to have like, we're going to have navigated through all of that. And my role is really to make them see that and agree on a plan of action for each step and make sure to finish step one before going to step two and having timelines linked to them. And I think if you do that correctly, you will achieve faster than you think the end results. If you want to do everything together at the same time, it's going to slow you down and you will probably miss very important steps.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. So, how do you balance your leadership responsibilities while staying true to your own personal values and growth?
We'll be back after a quick break.
AI is changing the game of business. Will you be on the winning team? I'm Jordan Wilson, the host of the Everyday AI podcast and your coach to help you learn the X's and O's of AI. Artificial intelligence isn't just a new player in the game, it's a new sport altogether. So if you don't quickly put AI into play, your competitors will run up the score. I've spent my whole life building winning teams, from coaching basketball to working with big players like Nike and Jordan Brand. My next move? Helping you win with Everyday AI. Listen wherever you get your podcasts or on everydayaipodcast.com. Let's tap into AI together and put points on the board.
Yeah, so I do believe that there is more than one way to be successful in life and successful in leadership. There are more than one way to be a great leader. And so my way is really like I'm a human leader, so I tend to look at data and things like that, but I don't base my leadership style based on numbers. The number help me navigate the human aspect,
Yes.
but the human aspect doesn't help me navigate the data. So
I
it's
love
very
that.
different. But
Yeah.
I think that these days, everything is analytics. Everything is based on analytics. And I think analytics helps a lot.
It does.
But everybody look at it first. I believe on the power of people. If you take care of the people, if you work on the mindset of the people, and then you bring the data in to help them going from where they are to where they want to be faster, then it's a huge positive tool, but not the opposite. But I do know some leaders who are very successful leading to data first. So it's not a right and wrong answer, but I try to navigate everything from the human aspect personally.
Oh, I love that. I love that from the human aspect. And that for me is the top tier type leadership, the servant leadership, where you're really influencing people. And you said the key thing is influencing their mindset and how they think. And then you back up with the data, because the old way, I say, is data. Well, these numbers, you all need to get us here, but the people are the ones who get us there. So take care of them. They'll take care of the getting there. Mm-hmm. And that's when they come in with open arms and vulnerability and the drive to use their skills, ability, and talent to get us there, because it's a team, right? So thank you. I love your take on that. Now let's talk about one of my other favorite subjects. If we're not talking mindset, let's talk about travel. And you have combined travel and growth. You've built a lifestyle around travel. How has traveling influenced your perspective on success? And what advice would you give to others on the benefits of experiencing different cultures?
Absolutely. So I think that what I just said is very important. The fact that I love people. People is most important, regardless what industry you go to.
Yes.
Now, about travel, it's because it's one of my passion. Maybe my number one or two passion is traveling. And so the thing is, I always have an entrepreneurship, mindset. So I always think about what could I do in order to improve my day-to-day life. And traveling was something I was doing a lot. And of course, I advertise on social media when I go places. And then people always ask me, okay, what did you do to book this? So what would you advise to go when I go to that region? Because I travel so much. And so I was giving all those free advices nonstop. And then I see them within a year posting on social media all the places that I advised them to go. And it happens like tons of times. And I'm like, well, I should be able to do that, but also get something out of it, Right. And that's how I started learning about, how to get into the travel industry. Mm-hmm. And then I decided to jump into it and build it from zero. And I have to say that's one of the best decisions I ever made, because it's such a fun business, because you meet so many people. You don't sell nothing, because people only contact you or, when they want to travel. Majority of people do travel. Some travel a lot.
Right.
And you talk vacation. So I'm like, all day I'm talking about vacations. All day I'm learning about new destinations, new, cruise line or new resort or new itineraries, countries that I never really knew too much.
Yeah.
And so it's really allows me to be more curious about destinations. And then I was not expecting having such a huge return very fast. And now I have a team of 4 people, and next year I think we're going to be at 10 to 12. So it's growing at a rapid pace, and it's such a fun environment. So I definitely encourage anyone to, when you have a passion for something, try to monetize it the right way.
That's right.
And if you can do that, the say is true, you never work a day in your life.
You never work it. Exactly. Oh, I love that. And you said, because passion, I remember when I chose, after wanting to be a psychiatrist, my second choice was, okay, so I'm not going to be a psychiatrist. That's not happening. I don't want to go to school forever. And then I went, my first choice degree when I was moving to the US at 17, I didn't end up coming. My degree was hospitality, because I wanted to be near travel. I didn't know what else I needed to do. I thought about I always tell everyone, believe it or not, I wanted to be a flight attendant, because being in a lesser developed country, that was your way out. You become a flight attendant. You're one in the air all the time, going to different places, bringing people from, and I still have that. I tell everyone, all the work I do, the thing that's in it for me is the travel. getting to meet people from all over the world, becoming, business partners or just colleagues or whatever, and then traveling there and having a good immersive time in culture, right?
Absolutely.
And it's weird how I love the luxurious destinations like the one behind you in that photo. But I also like emerging in culture. Like you said, people are my number one asset in my own life. And of course, in anything I do. So I like to see the culture and enjoy the different types of food and the different traditions that might come with those cultures. That's what makes it so rich. So yes, travel is my number one thing to do. If I'm not traveling physically, I'm somewhere else mentally. I just can go there by looking at photos.
That's really good. And you mentioned food. I mean, I'm a huge foodie. So that's one of the things I love to do when I'm on vacation is trying new food, new places. And that's something I always try to do with my clients, always give them some advice about where to go eat, depending the place they are. So
right.
Yeah, foodie.
So
and
you already tested and tried it, right? So it's even better. They are even more comfortable they trust you sooner because you actually walk the path. That's so wonderful. Can you share a travel experience that you had that was so profound that it impacted your life and your mindset?
Well, I get that question all the time, and it's very hard. I've been very lucky and fortunate to go to a lot of places, but the answer is usually shocking for a lot of people. Antarctica. I hate the cold. I literally cannot stand being cold. That's one of the many reasons I moved from Belgium to Florida.
And you live in South Florida.
I know. And so when people ask, and I say that, they look at me like, what's wrong with you? Well, again, one of the benefits of having a travel agency is that you learn about different places. And I never would have thought once in my life to go to Antarctica. But I start having a vendor who kept, sending me information about Antarctica. And I'm like, then I had a call with them, and then videos came and pictures. And I'm like, okay, I want to experience this. It seems to be unique. And it's probably the best experience of my life.
Wow.
The ability to kayaking between icebergs.
Oh my goodness.
With whales, literally whales, but a big one, going under your kayak while you kayak, while having like penguins all over the place around you, and the beauty of the landscape. I mean, that's insane. You'd only see, I mean, I've been to Alaska, I've been to Iceland, I've been to a lot of places, but who are cold as well. But Antarctica, this is so, the color of the water, the color of those icebergs. I mean, of course, it's white, but the thickness of, I mean, it's very different than, for example, Iceland and Alaska.
Yeah.
And the nature, the amount of species that I saw that I didn't even think existed. And you really experience Alaska another way, the way I did it. And I was blown away. I will not go back. It's like a destination when you go once in your lifetime, but I will never forget that time. So I can give you a lot of things about Bora Bora, Tahiti, like bunch of places in the Caribbean. But that was Greece and things like that. But Antarctica was the one that, when I came back, I could not believe everything I saw during those 10 days.
How did that impact your mindset?
Oh, yes. The second part of the question was that, open my mind to things that I wouldn't never have suggested, to some of my clients and things like that, because I don't know about it. I didn't know about it. And I was so negative about the fact it's so cold that I try to stay away from it. But I realized that I was not cold 1 second during the trip, because they had everything ready for you. Like, you have to take measurement of your, body measurement. They prepare, like, you arrive. It's a cruise with, the vendor I use, which is Seaborn. And then literally you get into the stateroom, and on your bed, you have combinations that you can take home after that. And they are all on measure. And if you do everything the way they said, you have like a warmer place on the stateroom to warm the clothes before you go out. I was literally never one time cold during the whole trip.
Oh, wow.
And so, that's very, very different. But my mindset was, oh no, it's a cold place. It's going to be iceberg everywhere. I've been to Alaska. I know what it is, but actually it's so different. So be open to things that you may have a preconceived, idea about what you're going to see, but actually it's not that at all. So always have an open mind is very important, definitely in this industry. And you need to have something for anybody, for anyone, and not everybody will like the same thing. So
Exactly.
it helped me on this career. It helped me ask more questions, probably when people want to do something, and be more open to things that I was not open myself.
I love it. And that's so key. The thing that led me to think about, the importance of building and leveraging influence. What are your thoughts on some of the essential steps that someone should be looking to build influence if they're trying to build influence in their particular industry or in their work? Is that important? And what steps should they be taking? Because that's
It's
a
very
big thing,
important.
right?
Yeah, it's very important. And I would say the most important is not to try to become someone you're not. Be authentic.
Be
Because people
authentic.
follow you, people will follow 100% of the time who you are as a person, not how you try to portray yourself on the outside world. And a lot of time when people start being an entrepreneur or they want to become a leader or things like that, they try, podcasting, things like that. People are not themselves anymore. So I know so many people who do podcasting, and when I listen to the podcast knowing who they are, I'm like, that's two different people. And it will last a short period of time before people will realize that. So I believe be yourself, be authentic, don't try to be anyone else, and people will gravitate towards you because of who you are. Because you don't have to play a game. You are who you are. You cannot please everybody, and which is okay. I think the importance of influence, you don't have to have everybody following you. You need to have the people that are good for you
Right.
to follow you. And
Yeah.
so sometimes I hear like, I need more I need more download, I need more. You don't need all of that. You just need to have the right people following you, and they will bring you the other people to follow you as well. And I think the
Exactly.
authenticity is key.
Authenticity is key. I love that because then you don't have to stress about keeping up a certain persona or failing to provide a certain you at a given time. That's easy. It's not off or on. It's just you. Perfect. I love that. That's a very good tip because I don't think we realize how many people are performing in the space of the quote unquote influencer. And I say we all are influencing, but we can influence with intention to direct people towards what our purpose and calling is, which I say my purpose and calling is a gift given to me so I can give it back to the world. And I facilitate something as only I can. If it's only I can, as I can, then it has to be authenticity. Perfectly said. Let's talk a little bit about the work you do. Who do you mentor and what do you mentor them on? What does that mentorship look like?
Yeah, so mainly small business owners,
Okay.
entrepreneur, or I have some experienced one as well, but mainly small business owners. So basically, they come up with me with some roadblocks that they have, and I'm just there to listen, understand what really is missing, and then instead of giving them the answer, if I don't have all the answers, of course, but if I believe that I can help them on some topic, I will challenge them, and I will definitely be telling by asking. It's something I love to do for multi reasons, but the main one is if someone come up with a solution themselves because of the question you ask the business owner, for example, the accountability piece will be so much stronger.
Yeah.
So I give you an example. If you work with someone and they tell you the challenge and then you believe that, okay, you definitely know what they should be doing instead of telling them. And if you tell them what to do and they do it and it's not working, what is going to happen? They're going to point a finger to you and say, well, she told me to do that. It didn't work out, and they will give up a lot faster. if you understand what they should be doing and you challenge them by asking questions. So tell me, did you think about doing something like this, for example? Or what do you think about this subject? What do you think about doing this? And then they just talk themselves into the answer that you want them to go to. So it's telling by asking. Then they will figure out the answer themselves.
Yeah.
At that moment, they will hold themselves accountable a lot more because they don't want to fail on something they figure out themselves.
Exactly.
And so that's something that it's doing miracles when you work like that.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to be the one who gave the answer that may be right or not, but you can see the accountability piece, and they will be working a lot harder or a lot smarter because it comes from them. So they don't want to fail, if it makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I love that. I love that. So you coach, you mentor entrepreneur. The question I have for you, because it stems something within me, and I love to see everybody's opinion as much as every chance I get. Why do you choose to call yourself more, or choose to do more mentorship versus coaching? And what is your definition of the difference between the two?
Well, by mentoring, you will automatically be coaching as well. But a coach is not always a mentor. And
Right.
let me tell you, it's the same thing as the difference between being a manager and being a leader.
Yes.
It's very different.
Yes.
A manager follow a process that is written, and they will read and they will do exactly what they read. And they will
Right.
coach you to do that because that's what they've been coached to do.
Right.
A leader will be listening a lot more and will act based on what it's needed by challenging you. And, lead by example, be the person that you want others to be as well. So I do believe in a lot of difference. And coaching, mentoring, even though it's a little bit different, I believe that you can be a coach by being a manager, because a manager can coach you by a process. It's a process that is written black and white, and then you just read it and you coach them based on that. It doesn't mean that you will motivate them or you will be an example for them. You will not inspire. I don't believe you get inspired by a manager, but you will get inspired by a leader if they do the right thing. So that would be the difference, I think, between the two. But coaching is everywhere because by mentoring, you coach.
Right. I love that. I love your perspective on it. And I can say I submit to that perspective as well. And so here's a trick question. Do you think that one is more valuable than the other? If so, which one, and why or why not?
I mentioned already, I think that there's more than one way to be successful in life. And I do believe in leadership very strongly myself. I believe there are great managers, but manager for me is a short period of time. You cannot sustain a long period of success by being a manager.
Yeah.
And you will have a lot less people following you and having a following by being a manager. A leader, if you do the right thing, people will follow you. Not everybody, and you don't need everybody.
No, you don't need
people that you would like to surround yourself. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I want to be around people that I want to mirror, I want to be like, or I want to learn from. And if I'm around people that I don't feel very strongly about, or you are the smarter person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room. And it's true. It's cliche, but it's the truth.
It's very true. I love that. And I do subscribe to the fact that of mentoring people. And you said something key when you introduced how you do mentorship is where you ask, tell. You don't just tell people, and you allow the collaboration between you and your mentee to help the mentee arrive create the path and arrive at the destination together, right? And so coaching can be that. But I say, for me as a coach, I flip between the two very readily. And then you have to, some days, like you said, there are times you do coach, but many coaches don't understand mentorship, right? But most mentors do understand and utilize coaching modalities to be able to facilitate managing the process of mentorship. But I do love mentorship more because it's more organic and it's more person-centered and not process-led, prescripted, So even in my coaching, no prescript. So I don't know, maybe I'm not very good at coaching, maybe.
No, I think that there is more than one way to coach as well. And that's the beauty in life, is that if everything was the same for everybody, then AI would have been taking over a long time ago, because then we need robots. But the reason that we will improve the AI aspect, it's another subject, but you will always need human aspect, because if you use ChatGPT, for example, it's a huge game changer, but you cannot copy paste what you find on ChatGPT. You need to keep reading every sentence and adapt them to personalize the message. But it's helping to have like the body of the message already pre-written. But what you see very quickly when someone is non-authentic, they will just have like text that are robotic. And so it helps, but it doesn't do everything.
It doesn't. And so that's why an individual like yourself and I, we are not concerned. We understand that it helps us to get on our pathway quicker. It's a little less time, but we understand the importance of it. And so I'm not threatened by it. I think we will work very well together. I will build a long-term growing relationship with AI in all the different forms that it will become available, just like I had to adapt to my cell phone. So for those who are looking to find a mentor, what advice would you give them to ensure that they are benefiting from that mentor-mentee relationship?
Yeah, so to find a mentor, you need to do the work to try to find someone you feel comfortable with, that you will accept the coaching, and that I do believe you will have lots of mentor in your life. Your first mentor are your parents, and then you will have a lot of mentors, and it's okay. You can have more than one at each point of your life as well. But I think what's important is to feel very connected. I mean, you said that you were going for psychiatry. It's the same for that. I mean, there may be 10 excellent, like psychiatrists, but you will connect to one a lot better than the 9 others.
Exactly.
So you need to find the one you feel connection with on the level that you need to feel connected with based on your challenges. And you go with that person, and you open yourself to let the message in and decode that by that person.
Yeah.
And it will be challenges, because if you have a mentor who care really deeply about you and what you're going through, he or she will challenge you. And not a lot of people who are entrepreneur and business owner like to be challenged when they start that, because one of the reasons why they start building their own business is because they don't want to report to it.
Yeah.
They don't like the fact but you need to be vulnerable. I have mentors myself. I mean, I have mentors, and I'm vulnerable with them, and I keep learning from them. And so you need to be open to that, but you need to pick someone that you feel very confident with.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about Mindset is My Degree. What is in there? Because I haven't got my copy yet. What do you cover?
Yeah, so the first part of the book, it's my journey in Belgium, about how did I go from being a basketball player to every steps after that. Because I have no shame to say, I started as a door knock salesman to start my journey to grow. I was one of those annoying person in malls, in the middle of the mall, trying to sell you something you don't need, like things like that. But it helps me becoming better into how to get to talk to people that I don't know, how to accept rejection, because we get 99% of people, we get rejected, how to handle those rejection and use the mindset saying like, it's not that person next. It's not that person next. And be okay with rejection, which is very key. Yeah. to go into direct selling. And that's where I really grew to have a team of 3,200 people in 10 years in Europe in the life insurance industry. And that's where I started doing public speaking in French and Dutch for 8 years, motivational speaking. And yes, that changed my life completely after basketball, then restarting everything zero after that. So the book explained that for the first part. The second half of the book is about leadership, steps of leadership that I do each and every time I'm with a new team, a new mentee or things like that. So every steps that I personally have with all stories for each steps. So people relate to stories a lot more than with process or bullet points. So I try to bring stories in each chapter in order to help people who want to become a leader, or people who are leader who want maybe hear a different aspect of leadership. So first part is my story about moving to the US and the steps before, and second part, leadership.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And so it is an Amazon bestseller, so we can definitely go look it up. Mindset is my degree, and you got a copy of Nick's book. Nick, we love to play a game on the podcast. It's called Flip the Script. So I have a couple questions for you. Are you ready to play with me?
I'm ready.
So the first question I have, it's very similar to one I asked before, but I'm going to put a twist on it. Can you share a time when you encountered something in life and you completely had to change or flip the script of your mindset to be able to take it on?
Okay. Well, I already mentioned, I think there's no bigger, flip the switch possible than to explain my story about moving from Europe to the United States. I already tell that. So another one, which is the big click after the basketball journey, where that allowed me to become like a leader myself. My dad was very conventional. Like I mentioned, he was an amazing human being, an amazing dad, but he didn't understand business and entrepreneurship. So I decided to start my journey into, direct selling for life insurance. And the first thing you do when you start a business like that is the script that everybody knows. Talk to your family and friends to try to enroll them first. So that's the pyramid scheme that you hear here in the US. My dad called every single person he knew that I'm close with. And he said, Nick will try to sell you life insurance. It's a scam. Don't do it. And he didn't do it to make me fail. He did it because he loved
to protect
and he just cared for me. And he didn't believe in the industry, and he didn't believe in life insurance because it was not what he was growing up learning,
Exactly.
And that completely changed me. At that time, instead of taking, bad towards my dad, I looked at him and I said, my life will change today. And you will not believe what I'm going to accomplish with this company. And I left. And I remember I closed 26 life insurance policies the first month with people I didn't know in the beginning of my journey, in the first month. So literally going to malls, trying to talk to everybody, having like a mindset of I'm going to make it, going to bookkeepers, and then trying to get them to give me like some contacts to call who have no life insurance. So I really went cold calling, called everything, and I closed those 26 life insurance, which allows me to reach a certain level very smart, very, very fast.
Yes.
And after that, you start bring people into the company and enrolling them and teaching them how to sell life insurance.
Yeah.
After 3 months, I was the second top producer in Belgium of the company. After a year, I had a team of around 1,200 people. And that was the fastest start in the history of the company. The company was Hamburg Mannheimer in Germany, but they were active in 8 different countries.
Yeah.
And the big story about that is a year later, so my life completely changed. I started having like different lifestyle. I had another car. I had during the day, I didn't work much because most of the work was the evening when I go talk to people after work and stuff like that. Weekend, I was doing presentations. I was a speaker. I became a speaker. And my dad didn't understand. He said, "Are you selling drugs?" I remember he said, "Are you selling drugs?"
Where did you get this car?
I was going to Spain, I was going to France, to Germany, I was speaking everywhere, and he didn't believe he wanted to learn everything. So one day I surprised him and I'm like, "Hey Dad, can you come at this address? I need your help Saturday at 12. And that was at the University of Brussels, and I was giving a speech in front of 800 people. And I invite my dad to the address and I'm like, "Please come at 12, I really need you to be there." So he showed up. I go inside the university with him, and then there is a huge room full, audience in the university.
Yeah.
And so I let him sit in the back, and I'm like, "I will be back in 5 minutes. Don't ask question. I'll be back." And then I go because I was a speaker, and he didn't know that. And so the person come and introduce the speaker, the guest speaker of the day.
And it's Nick Mornard.
I know. And the full room was, like all people older than me. I was 27.
Yes.
And there were all people but 30 to 60 years old. And then they introduced me, and, I came in and I looked at my dad and I could see what is he going to talk about? And I gave an hour speech, motivator speaking, and then everybody get up at the end. I got a standing ovation. But the whole purpose was, my dad at that moment understood that it was not a scam, that it was a real thing.
And you're a valuable person.
And he started selling. After that day, he enrolled and he started selling life insurance. So you can see
good conversion.
Exactly. That's the power of someone who doesn't accept a no for an answer. Go for it. Go through the challenges in the beginning, but make it positive at the end. That not only he was proud of me, but also he decided to do it because I could inspire him to actually believe that he can do the same thing. And so
that is powerful. When you sell your traditional father in something he did not believe in, that's okay. I'm going to call you to close a big deal for me. I'm going to be like, and now you have to speak to my partner, Nick. Wonderful story. That is a flip the script. You guys know he flipped the script of his dad, okay? Wonderful. So, Nick, what is your definition of success?
Wow, everybody should have a different definition. For me, it's freedom. Freedom is success for me. I mean, money, you can always make more money, but what are you doing with is what matters. I know so many people who are extremely successful, make a ton of money, but never enjoy anything. And unfortunately, I know some people who've been through the journey and said, later I will enjoy it, and the later never come because you get a disease or you get something and you can never enjoy the benefits. So I work hard, but I try to make sure that every 3 months I'm going away for a week, minimum a week, and I just enjoy life. And I don't want to wait until I retire to do all of that because that's a problem. My dad did that. He waited before he retired to actually live life. And after a year, he had an accident and he's gone. So I always tell people, don't wait later because later nobody knows.
Never come. Yeah.
And so I try to really enjoy life, work hard, but also enjoy life. I'm too young. I'm 44, so I don't want to.
Oh, me too.
So I just want to make sure to enjoy life while working hard. And for me, that's a definition of success: is being freedom to do what you want to do. So that's what I call freedom.
Absolutely, that is my definition of success too. Success equals freedom. And the more freedom I'm able to gain myself, it's the more successful I am. Because when I have the freedom to create, to impact, to influence, then income comes along with it. So, oh my goodness, so powerful. Nick, we are wrapping up to the end of your episode with me here on Mindset Mastery Moments. And at the end, we always ask our guests if this was the last time you had something to say to the world, what would you say to them in about 90 seconds or less? And so I step away from the microphone and the camera, and you just speak to the people that are listening and watching us. So here we go.
Okay. Dare. guys, dare, because again, you don't know when the end is there. And I don't want to be dramatic, but dare to do what you always wanted to do, and don't wait for the perfect time to do it, because the perfect time may never come. So if you have an idea, if you have a project, if you want to go to a certain destination, whatever you want to do in life, do it. Take initiative, do it. Is it going to be easy? Probably not. But if you never take risk in life, you never fail, but you can never succeed. So my advice is to just do it. Surround yourself with people who are positive, people who will push you to get better. If you have toxic people around you, please move on, because that's not going to help you in life in general. And you all have the capability to change your life, but you need to act on it and dare to go for it. And that would be my message. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow. Okay, there I am. That was so powerful. Dare, 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 dare. I absolutely love it. Nick, we thank you so much, but we can't let you go without you telling us how we can connect with you, and where do we find all the goodness of mentorship and leadership, and let's say some really exquisite travel with you.
Yes, so I'm not difficult to find. If you type my name on any social media, you will find me. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere pretty much, YouTube. If you want, of course, my number is 305-753-9288. And again, I'm sure the description will be below with all the information. Please do not hesitate to contact me. I love people. And so I'm not someone who will look to sell you on anything. I really don't. I really want to increase my network with positive people. So let's have a chat and see if we can help each other, or just become friends. I don't mind. I'm really open for anything, really.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we will definitely have all the details. I think you have a free gift, a free consultation with you.
Absolutely.
That your agent has given us. So it's also in the description. That means you've listened to the entire episode to find it, because we will put it in the description. And you can go to www.jetsettinglifestyle.com and work with Nick and his team to create your next great experience in travel, and just getting immersed in another culture and a new environment for a change, right? So Nick, thank you so much for sharing your insights on mindset, leadership, transformative power of travel, and mentorship. It's been such an awesome conversation. Hopefully you'll come back at another time and chat with me. Your perspective has been truly, truly, truly helpful, even to me. I learned a lot from you sitting here and listening to your journey and the lessons you've learned. So thank you so much for it. And we wish you all the wonderful success in every area of your life. And for those who are listening, don't forget to get a copy of Nick's book, Mindset is My Degree. It's on Amazon. It is an Amazon bestseller. You won't miss it. Go look him up on social media. Let him know that you heard him here on Mindset Mastery Moment. And then he has another website, Two for the Win. That's where he co-hosts a podcast that I'm going to be checking it. I didn't get to listen to yet. Nick, again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alisa. I really appreciate it. Thank you, listeners. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, we will be in touch, and I will be checking out all the stuff that you got going on. I'll be stalking you on social media and just keeping in the vibe of what you deliver. You have a wonderful day. And guys, remember to keep elevating in your mindset. Your mindset is the key to your success. And you know what? Get a degree in mindset mastery. And you've got Nick here to be your mentor on the journey. Oh, that rhymes so well. For now, I'm Dr. Alisa saying goodbye with my co-host today, Nick. Have a great one.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.